Welcome everybody to the Package Group weekly retrospective for July the 8th, 2021. Depending on what time zone you're in, I suppose. Starting off with what went not so well, over to you, Tim.
Thanks, Dan. Went not so well. Leading into the 4th of July weekend, a short week felt great and felt really productive, like I was getting ahead, and then coming back and having a short week on the other side feels like you're just behind and digging yourself out of a hole. So it can be a little bit stressful, but that's all. I could read for Ugo. Keep going back to the general onboarding tasks when I feel I should be getting more traction on the package onboarding tasks instead, but there were some tasks that I think were more important to build a solid foundation. On to Haley.
We discovered that Docker BuildX uses an out-of-spec OCI image index, which violates some of the core characteristics of manifest lists. So that was a surprise. Zhao, do you want to verbalize?
It's not compliant with the Docker spec either, so yeah, it's just not OCI.
Yeah. But I was able. Oops, that's a good thing. Never mind. I'm a Steve. I'm not compliant with our spec.
I didn't realize it while it was happening, but I managed to take on a bit too much at once. And so everything's starting to get all backed up as we reach the end of the week. Over to Dan.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, I've been having that feeling of getting a lot done, but still having a lot to get done. Haven't been feeling super well, sleeping super well this week either, which is not great. Also keep having to be reminded of retrospectives each month, which is sort of irritating me in the background because I'm like, I should remember this, but didn't. I didn't get the chance to update the definition for application limits project yet. Over to you, Nico.
Yeah, so the refactor of the details page to GraphQL/Apollo is taking a little bit too much time as compared to what I planned. Over to David.
Thanks. Yeah, the NuGet bug, which is uploading a really heavy file, is way more subtle than I anticipated, and it's taking more time to investigate. But the good side is that this problem could apply to other package types, so the solution will be applied to them too. Over to Tim with what went well.
Yeah, good cross-stage and cross-department collaboration this week, working with the TAMS and the Gainsight team to get our data and discovery questions into the account management software, and met with Dove and the pipeline authoring team to discuss pipeline for packages and how we can validate that problem and collaborate on it moving forward. So it felt good. And I could read for Ugo. Tweaked calendar and communication related apps and integrations, feeling everything's falling into place and I'm getting familiar with the communication tooling. My calendar will be more manageable and organized, and my Slack game is getting better. Ugo, only one video call hiccup this week so far. Internet connection is better now that people are not taking online classes, maybe. On to Haley.
So we discovered that Docker BuildX uses an OCI image index, which violates some of the core characteristics of manifest lists before hitting production with metadata database. So that's an appropriate time to discover it. I was able to also fix this for garbage collection relatively quickly, and we've already gotten feedback that it worked from the original reporter of the issue. On to David.
Thanks. So I'm quite happy that the MR to bring back precise metrics on the cleaner policies dashboard is about to be merged. So to have a bit of context, we had the cleaner policies is like a waiting line, and it's a useful insight to know which is the size of the waiting line. During the scaling changes, we had to truncate this size because it was, for performance reasons, impossible to compute the whole size. and I'm bringing back this metric to the dashboard. Over to Dan.
Thanks, David. Nice to have everyone back. I'm also glad people can take time off in spite of how much there is to do. Great progress on our error budget OKR, which is pretty cool. That number keeps going down, which is exciting. Down is good, by the way. Over to Steve.
The Helm charts MVC is fully merged, and the feature flag should be enabled today. And that was a fully community contributed feature. So that's really exciting. Over to Nico.
Refactor aside, the rest of the milestone seems looking good. So I'm happy. Over to Sophia.
Yeah, I think after debugging with the distribution team and having several people investigating, we finally have a registry job where we could test with our Omnibus instance. This took just way too long, and the bug was way too deep somewhere into the Docker MTU parameter. I'm so glad that this was solved, because basically, you know, when you have like lots of unblocked MRs, and then you are finally to just start merging 8 MRs at the same time. So it was a good week for that. Jean.
This week we have done the registry size change to drive the gradual rollout for the phase 1 of the registry migration for GitLab.com. So that's done and merged. And I think that's all. Back to Dan.
Great. Thanks, Jerome. Thanks, everyone. And thanks, everyone, following along at home. I hope everyone has a lovely rest of their day tomorrow and a great weekend. Thanks very much. Bye.